Put this in that spot. Put this in the drawer, please. This little top drawer.
I.S.U.P.K. 53rd Annual Lord Passover.
53rd Annual Lord's Passover is going to be held down here in Florida.
It's going down.
You're here tonight to get a chance to be righteous enough to be worthy of God coming to save you.
That's right.
It's going down. The Lord's 53rd Annual Passover.
When we say we no cowards, we stop that business. We no cowards up in here.
Book your hotels now at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites, the IHG Hotel, 301 Tucker Lane, Cocoa Beach, Florida, 32926.
Here's a lot of men down. You dealing with the men of war. We at war. I sided with the Lord.
Counterfall your dishes, pots, and sports knives.
I kind of like this. This is like an apartment room and a hotel room. You know what I mean? Yeah. This here right here is about to be holy ground. It's going to be holy ground. All our beautiful, wonderful brothers and sisters from all over the world. You understand? We can boast that now. Brothers and sisters coming not only from every state, but from all over the world. I heard the numbers this year is ridiculous. We had to buy out the whole hotel.
Friday, April 15th at the Space Coast Convention Center.
My camp undefeated. You cannot debate. You just want the clout. We just want the grace. I'm just trying to get it.
This is going to be glorious.
We don't give a fuck, you can see it in our face. Got it out the mud, straight up out the base.
Alright. Trooper Bagagua, present thyself. Oh, Salakia. Build it on, I'm sure. Alright, Trooper Bagagua, present thyself.
Bagagua, Ban Yahanna, Ban Yashala.
Bagagua, Ban Yahanna, Ban Yashala.
Yahweh Ban Shem Yahweh Shah Brakatha.
Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah Brakatha.
La Yashala.
Glory again.
Yamatah, which means to stand. That's like Imagine, which means to stand. Wapinya Hakwadam, which means turn face to east. You want to say the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew? Repeat after me. Abanau. Shabbat Shemayah. Kodash. Hayah. Shemka. Yahweh. Malakwaka. Saba'ah. Ratazayaka. Hayah. Aisha. Ba'a Ratazah. Kawak. Hayah. Bashamayah. The thunder now. The come. Kal. Yawam. Wasalaki now. Kabawati now. Kasalaki now. Kabawati now. Wala'ah. Saki, Taba Ayanawa,
Taba Ayanawa,
Banasaya 1,
Banasaya 1,
Abal, Hawashayanawa,
Hawashayanawa,
Mayan,
Mayan,
Rad, Kaya,
Kaya,
Laka, Hamalakwa,
Hamalakwa,
Waha'ala,
Waha'ala,
Watapara, La'Iwalamium,
La'Iwalamium,
Aman.
Aman.
In English, our Father,
which
art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
Hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy will be done.
Thy will be done.
In earth. As it is in heaven.
Give
Give us this day.
Give us this day
our daily bread.
our daily bread.
And forgive us our debts.
And forgive us our debts.
As we forgive our debtors.
As we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not. Into temptation. But deliver us. From evil.
From evil.
For thine is the kingdom.
For thine is the kingdom.
And the power.
And the power.
And the glory.
And the glory.
Forever. So be it.
So be it.
We're going to say how cock the power, Yahweh.
Yahweh.
By Hashem Yahushua.
By Hashem Yahushua.
Baba Kashah.
Baba Kashah.
The thunder now.
The thunder now.
Hakak.
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 La Pa'ah.
La Pa'ah.
Kamaka. Kamaka Allah.
Kamaka Allah.
Wakal Marawa.
Wakal Marawa.
Hakak.
Hakak.
La Tahar.
La Tahar.
Hamatazariah.
Hamatazariah.
Hakak.
Hakak.
La Hakwi.
Hakwi.
Hamathium.
Hamathium.
Hakak.
Hakak.
Avaka Awaf.
Awaf.
Hatama Allah.
Hatama Allah.
Lagar Shun.
Lagar Shun.
By Hashem Yahushua.
By Hashem Yahushua.
The water Aman.
The water Aman.
In English, Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua.
Please give us the power.
Please give us the power.
The power to heal.
The power to heal.
All manner of sickness.
All manner of sickness.
And all manner of disease.
And all manner of disease.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to raise the dead.
The power to raise the dead.
The power against unclean spirits.
The power against unclean spirits.
To cast them out.
To cast them out.
In the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it. We're going to say, bless Israel. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
By Hashem Yahushua.
By Hashem Yahushua.
Barak Lanawa.
Barak Lanawa.
Wayasha'ala.
Wayasha'ala.
Wahabaya.
Wahabaya.
Saparian.
Saparian.
Barak.
Barak.
Rapah.
Rapah.
Magun.
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 By Hashem Yahushua.
By Hashem Yahushua.
The water Aman.
The water Aman.
In English, Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua.
Bless us.
Bless us.
And Israel.
And Israel.
And the school.
And the school.
Bless.
Bless.
Heal.
Heal.
Shield.
Shield.
Protect.
Protect.
In the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it.
We're going to say Psalms 121. Asha'a.
Asha'a.
Ayanya.
Ayanya.
Al-Haharian.
Al-Haharian.
Mahayan.
Mahayan.
Saki. Mayan.
Mayan.
Yaba'a.
Yaba'a.
Izari.
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 Ma'ayin.
Ma'ayin.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Aisha.
Aisha.
Shemaiah.
Shemaiah.
Waharatazah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, Wa'aratazah.
Wa'aratazah.
Ayathan.
Ayathan.
Lamawat.
Lamawat.
Regalka.
Regalka.
Al-Yanawam.
Al-Yanawam.
Shamarka.
Shamarka.
Hana.
Hana.
La'a.
La'a.
Yanawam.
Yanawam.
Wala'a.
Wala'a.
Yayashun.
Yayashun.
Shawamar.
Shawamar.
Yasha'al.
Yasha'al.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Shamarka.
Shamarka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Tazalka.
Tazalka.
Ayat.
Ayat.
Yamyaka.
Yamyaka.
Yawamam.
Yawamam.
Hashamash.
Hashamash.
La'a.
La'a.
Yakarka.
Yakarka.
Wayarak.
Wayarak.
Balayala.
Balayala.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yashamarka.
Yashamarka.
Makarai.
Makarai.
Yashamar.
Yashamar.
Athnapashka.
Alpha
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yashamar.
Yashamar.
Taza'atka.
Taza'atka.
Wabawa'atka.
Wabawa'atka.
Mayatha.
Mayatha.
Wa'awalam.
Wa'awalam.
The water Aman.
The water Aman.
In English, I will lift up mine eyes to the hills.
I will lift up my eyes to the hills.
From whence cometh my help?
From whence cometh my help?
My help coming from Yahweh.
My help coming from Yahweh.
Which made heaven and earth.
Which made heaven and earth.
You will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
You will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee.
He that keepeth thee.
Will not slumber.
Will not slumber.
Behold.
Behold.
He that keepeth Israel.
He that keepeth Israel.
Shall neither slumber nor sleep.
Shall neither slumber nor sleep.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day.
The sun shall not smite thee by day.
Nor the moon by night.
Nor the moon by night.
Yahweh shall preserve thee.
Yahweh shall preserve thee
from all evil.
From all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out.
And thy coming in.
And thy coming in.
From this time forth.
From this time forth.
And even forevermore.
And even forevermore.
So be it.
So be it.
We'll say Psalms 83. Alahayim.
Alahayim.
Al-Damayalaka.
Al-Damayalaka.
Al-Takarash.
Al-Takarash.
Wa'al-Tashakwat.
Wa'al-Tashakwat.
Al. Kayahana.
Kayahana.
Awabyaka. Salaki. Awayabyaka.
Awayabyaka.
Yahama Yawan.
Yahama Yawan.
Wamashanayaka.
Wamashanayaka.
Nasha'awa.
Nasha'awa.
Ra'ash.
Ra'ash.
Al-Imaka.
Al-Imaka.
Salaki. Ya'ira-Yamwa.
Ya'ira-Yamwa.
Sawa.
Sawa.
Wayata Ya'itazawa.
Wayata Ya'itazawa.
Altazapawanyaka,
Altazapawanyaka,
Amawa,
Amawa,
Lakawa,
Lakawa,
Wanakakidam,
Wanakakidam,
Magoya,
Magaya,
Wala'a,
Wala'a,
Yazakar,
Yazakar,
Sham Yasha'ala,
Sham Yashal,
Aiwa,
Aiwa,
Kaya,
Kaya,
No, Saki, Nawa Aitazawa,
Noah Aitazawa,
La,
La,
Yakadwa,
Yakawa,
Saki, Alyaka,
Alyaka,
Baya,
Baya,
Yakarathwa,
Yakarathwa,
Alahaya,
Alahaya,
Ahalia,
Ahalia,
Alawam,
Alawam,
Wanasha Saki, Wayashama Alyam,
Wayashama Alim,
Mawa'aba,
Mawa'aba,
Wahagari,
Wahagari,
Gabal,
Gabal,
Wa'aimawan,
Wa'aimawan,
Wa'aimalak,
Wa'aimalak,
Palashah,
Palashah,
Anyashabia,
Amyashabia,
Tazawar,
Tazawar,
Gum Ashawar,
Gamashawar,
Nalawa,
Nalawak,
Imam,
Imam,
sorry, Hayawa,
Hayawa,
Zarawai,
Zarawai,
Labanya Lawat,
Labaya Lawat,
Salah,
Salah,
Aishalaham,
Aishalaham,
Kamadian,
Kamadian,
Kasara Sara'ah,
Kasara Sara'ai,
Kayabian,
Kayabian,
Banakal,
Banakal,
Koyashuan,
Koyashawan,
Nashamadwa,
Nashamadwa,
Ba'ayanda Ira,
Ba'ayanda Ira,
Kayawa, Kayawa,
Kayawa,
Daman,
Daman,
La Adama, it's like La Adama,
La Adama,
Shayathamwa,
Shayathamwa,
Nadayamawa,
Nadayamawa,
Ka'ara,
Ka'ara,
Wakaza Abba,
Wakaza Abba,
Wakaza Abba,
Wakaza Abba,
Wakaza Bak,
Wakaza Bak,
Wakata Zamanai,
Wakaza Zamanai,
Kana Sayakamwa,
Kanasaya Kamwa,
Ashar,
Ashar,
Amarwa,
Amara,
Naya Rashad,
Naya Rashad,
Lanawa,
Lanawa,
Na'awa,
Na'awa,
Alahayim,
Alahayim,
Alahaya,
Alahaya,
Shayathamwa,
Shayathamwa,
Kagagala,
Kagagala,
Kakwash,
Kakwash,
Lapanya Raka,
Lapanya Rakwa,
Ka'ash,
Ka'ash,
Tabaya Ira,
Ira,
Wakala Haba,
Wakala Haba,
Talahat,
Salahat,
Haryam,
Haryam,
Khan,
Khan,
Tawadatma,
Daradama,
Basa Iraka,
Basa Iraka,
Wabasa Wapaka,
Wabasa Wapaka,
the Bahalam,
Bahalam,
Mala'a,
Mala'a,
Payaham,
Payaham,
Qualawan,
Qualawan,
Wayabakwashua,
Wayabakwashua,
Shemka,
Shamka,
Yahawa,
Yahawa,
Yabashua,
Yabashua,
Wayaba'aliwa,
Wayaba'aliwa,
Ay, Wayakapawa,
Wayakapawa,
Waya Abadwa,
Wayabadwa,
Waya the Iwa,
Wayadaiwa,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Atha, Shemka,
Shamka,
Yahawa,
Yahawa,
Labaka,
Labaka,
Ayawam,
Ayawam,
Al-Kaha Rataza,
Al-Kaharataza,
the water Aman,
the water Aman.
In English, keep not thy silence, O Yahweh.
Keep not thy silence, O Yahweh.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still.
And be not still.
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
For lo, thy enemies make a tumult.
Thy enemies make a tumult.
And they that hate thee.
And they that hate thee.
Have lifted up the head.
Have lifted up the head.
They have taken crafty counsel.
They have taken crafty counsel.
Against thy people.
Against thy people.
And consulted against thy hidden ones.
And consulted against thy hidden ones.
They have said.
Come.
Let us cut them off.
Let us cut them off.
From being a nation.
From being a nation.
In the name of Israel.
In the name of Israel.
May be no more remembrance.
May be no more remembrance.
For they have consulted together.
But they have consulted together.
With one consent.
With one consent.
They are confederate against thee.
They are confederate against thee.
The tabernacles of Edom.
The tabernacles of Edom.
And Ishmaelites.
And Ishmaelites.
Of Moab.
Of Moab.
Hagarenes. Gabal and Ammon.
Gabal and Ammon.
And Amalek.
And Amalek.
The Philistines.
The Philistines.
With the inhabitants of Tyre.
With the inhabitants of Tyre.
Asher is also joined with them.
Asher is also joined with them.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
Salah. Do unto them.
Do unto them.
As unto the Midianites.
As unto the Midianites.
As to Sisera.
As to Sisera.
As the brook of As to Jabin.
As to Jabin.
At the brook of Kishon.
At the brook of Kishon.
Which perished at Endor.
Which perished at Endor.
They became as dung for the earth.
They became as dung for the earth.
Make their nobles like a red.
Make their nobles like a red.
And like the air.
And like the air.
Yea. All their princes.
All their princes.
As Sabbath.
As Sabbath.
As Amunah.
As Amunah.
Who said. Let us take to ourselves.
Let us take to ourselves.
The house of Yahweh possession.
The house of Yahweh possession.
Oh my power.
Oh my power.
Make them like a wheel.
Make them like a wheel.
As a stubble before the wind.
As a stubble before the wind.
As the fire burneth the wood.
As the fire burneth the wood.
And as the flame setteth the mountains on fire.
And as the flame setteth the mountains on fire.
So persecute them.
So persecute them.
With thy tempest.
With thy tempest.
And make them afraid.
And make them afraid.
With thy storm.
With thy storm.
Fill their faces with shame.
Fill their faces with shame.
That they may seek thy name.
That they may seek thy name.
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
Make them be confounded.
Make them be confounded.
And trouble forever.
And trouble forever.
Yea.
Yea.
Let
them be put to shame.
Let them be put to shame.
And perish.
And perish.
That men may know.
That men may know.
That thou. Whose name alone.
Is Yahweh.
Art the most high.
Art the most high.
Over all the earth.
Over all the earth.
So be it.
So be it.
With that, I say Saw, which means to turn. Yashabi, which means be seated. All right, mid up here, Yashabium, which means to be seated. We're going to continue on where we left off last week. 2 Chronicles chapter 9, 1 through 7. Salakia. Let's get that in the Hebrew first. Oh, the water. Let's get that in the Hebrew. Oh, concert. I'm going to start it off. So 2 Chronicles chapter 9 and verse 1. Wa malakatha Shaba'ah. Shemai, Ath, Shemai, Shalama. What? The Bawa'ah. Lana Sawath, Ath, Shalama, Baka, Yada, Baka, Ba, Kayad, Wath. Salakia. But Bayar was Shalom. Bakaya Yal, Kabad, Ma'ad, Wagam, Wa Gamalayam, Nasha'ayam, Bashamyam, Wa Zahab, La Rabah, Wa'a Ban, Ya Korah, with Wa Thaba'ah, Slakia, Wa Thaba'ah, Al, Shalama, Wa Thadabar, I'm a Wa, Ath, Kal, Ashar, Haya, verse 2, Waya God, Laha, Shalama, Ath, Kal, Dabarya, Wala'ah, Na'ai, Lama, Dabar, Washam, Washa, Lama, Ashar, La'ah, Hagayah, Laha, Aim, Laba, Baha. Verse 3. Watha Ra'ah, Malaktha, Shaba'ah, Ath, Ka, Slakia, Cha, Kamath, Shalama, Waha Bayath, Ashar, Bana. Verse 4. Wama Ma'akal, Shalak Nawa, Wama Washab, Ibad Yawa, Ma'id, it's like it, Ma'ai Mad, Ma Sharath Yawa, Wama Laba Wayash Yahum, Wamash Kaya, Wamashak Yawa, Wama Laba Washa Yahum, Wa'al Yathawa, Wa'al Yathwa, Ashar, La'ai, La, Bayath, Yahweh, Wala'ah, Yaha, Haya, Slakia, Iwad, Baha, Rawak, verse 5, Watha Amar, Al, Hamalak, Amath, Hadabar, Ashar, Shama'ai, Thaya, Wa'aratazaya, Al, Dabar Yaka, Wa'al, Kakam, Mathak, verse 6, Wala'ah, Ha'a, Manathia, La Debar Yahum, Id, Ashar, Ba'athia, Watha Ra'ah, Yana, Yunya, How, what, Slakia, Wa, Hana, La'ah, Hagad, Laya, Katazaya, Ma Rabah, Yatha, Kaka Mathak, Sapath, Al, Shema Wa'ai, Ashar, Shema'ith, verse 7, Asharya, Ana, Shayak, Wa'ah, Shariah, Ibadika, Allah, Imadyam, Lapanyaka, Thamayad, Wa Shema'ayim, Ath, Kamathak. That's it. Let's continue on in English.
Khan. Second Chronicles chapter 9, verse 1. And when the queen of Sheba heard of the fame of Solomon, she came to prove Solomon with hard questions at Jerusalem.
Now we're going into the Queen of Sheba, where everybody thinks that she married Solomon. That's what everybody thinks. We're about to read her whole account in the Bible right here, and we're going to see if Solomon actually married her. Now it's true, Solomon did marry heathens. That's true, but this is not one of them. This is not one of them. And also on this account, we're going to see just exactly how famous and rich Solomon really was. We really can't put it in the terms of how wealthy Solomon and the kingdom of Israel really was at this point in time. But we're going to get into it. Keep going.
Khan. With a very great company and camels that bear spices and gold in abundance and precious stones. And when she was come to Solomon, she communed with him she communed with him of all that was in her heart. Verse 2.
So she came bringing gifts, a whole lot of gifts. All this spices and gold and precious stones that she came with. She brought it all over to Solomon. Keep going.
Khan. Verse 2. And Solomon told her all her questions. He told her not.
So she had a bunch of questions, and he schooled her. That's what we do. You know what I'm saying? Keep going.
Khan. Verse 3. And when the queen of Sheba had seen the wisdom of Solomon and the house that he had built. Verse 4. And the meat of his table and the sitting of his servants and the attendance of his ministers and their apparel, his cupbearers also, and their apparel, and his ascent by which he went up into the house of the Lord. There was no more spirit in her. Verse 5. And she said to the king, it was a true report which I heard in mine own land of thine acts and of thy wisdom.
So all this stuff that she had witnessed while she was in attendance with Solomon, everything that she had heard prior to her coming there, she seen that it was true, and everything that was about her that even thought that any of that stuff was contrary, all that left, all of the mystery, the mystique about this could not possibly be true, all left. You know what I'm saying? Keep going.
Come. Verse 6. Howbeit I believed not their words until I came, and mine eyes had seen it. And behold, the one half of the greatness of thy wisdom was not told me, for thou exceedest the fame that I heard. Verse 7, happy are thy men, and happy are these thy servants, which stand continually before thee and hear thy wisdom.
So this is very important. You know what I'm saying? Not only were we living in peace, but everybody gave him his due benevolence. When I say that, I mean everybody gave him his due. Everybody knew he was the man. You know what I'm saying? He was not only the king of Israel, but he was the Most High's chosen to lead Israel. And he couldn't have had all this peace without a lot of bloodshed from his father. He put everybody in check. This is the way Christ is going to put everybody in check when he comes back. Right? Is that all?
Okay.
All right, let's get the next set. 2 Chronicles 9, 8 through 14. Can you get that, Kagar? Sure.
2 Chronicles chapter 9, verse 8 in the Hebrew. Yahaya, Yahweh, Alahaya, Alahaya Ka, Barawak, Ashar, Kapatazah, Baka, Latatak, Al, Kasa'awa, Lamalak, La Yahweh, Alahayak, Ba'ahbah, Alahayak, Yasha Allah, Laha'ain Yadawa, La'ai Walam, Wayatanak, I La Yaham, La Malak, La'ai Shawaf, Mashapat, Watazadaka, verse 9, Watathan, La Malak, My Aha, Wa'ai Sharayam, Kakar, Zahab, Wabashamayam, Wabashamaya, Larab, Ma'ad, Wa Aban, Yakaraha, Wala'a, Hazah, Haya, Kabasham, Hahawa, Ashar, Nathanah, Malakah, Shabah, Lamalak, Shalamah, verse 10. Wagam, I, Badia, Kayaram, Wa'Ibadia, Shalamah, Ishar, Abaya, Awa, Zahab, Ma'awapa, Yar, Haba, Ya Awa, I Tazaya, Alaga, Wamayam, Wa'aban, Yakara, verse 11. Waya Aish, Hamalak, I Tazaya, Ha'a, Lapo, Pa, Wamayam, Masawa, Masalawa, Labaya, Yahweh, Wala Baya, Hamalak, Wakana Rawa, Wana Balayam, Lasharayam, Wala'a, Nara'awa, Kaham, Lapanayam, Ba'arataza, Yahawadah, verse 12, Wahamalak, Shalamah, Nathan, Lamalakah, Shabah, Af, Kal, Kapataza, Ashar, Sha'alah, Malabad, Ashar, Habaya, 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 Al, Hamalak, Wata Hapak, Watalak, La'arataza, Ayah, Wa'ai Badia, verse 13. Wayahaya.
Hold on. Okay. Shalakia. Keep going.
Verse 13. Wa Yahaya, Mashakal, Haza'ab, Ashar, Ba'a, La Shalamah, Bashanah, Akah, Shashah, Ma'awah, Mashashayim, Washashah, Kakaraya, Sahab, verse 14, Labad, Ma'anashiyah, Ha Tharayim, Ha Tharayim, Wahasa Karayim, Mabaya Ayim, Wakal, Malakaya, Ira, Wapa Kawaf, Ha'al Rataza, Mabaya Ayim, Zahab, Wakasap, La Shalamah. That's it.
That's it. Most High in Christ. We're going to continue on in English. Second Chronicles 9:15 through 20. Slakia. Second Chronicles 9:8 through 14.
Okay. Second Chronicles chapter 9, verse 8. Blessed be the Lord thy God, which delighted in thee to set thee on his throne, to be king for the Lord thy God, because thy God loved Israel, to establish them forever. Therefore made he thee king over them, to do judgment and justice.
So even the heathens know exactly who the Most High is and who his chosen people are, and who what the position of his chosen people are in the earth. They don't. The heathens don't know this now, or they're acting like they don't know this, but they're gonna learn. One day they're going to learn by blood, and it's not gonna be blood that we're gonna shed. It's gonna be blood that the Most High is gonna send Christ back to shed.
Right.
They're gonna be in all subjection. Right. Keep going.
Verse 9. And she gave the king 120 talents of gold, and of spices great abundance, and precious stones.
Hold on, Slacky. 1 second. Young man, can you do me a favor and look up Google what a talent is from the Bible and what it is today? Keep reading. Read that from the top, Baba Kashar.
Verse 9. And she gave the king 120 talents of gold, and of spices great abundance, and precious stones. Neither was there any such spice as the queen of Sheba gave King Solomon.
So I don't think we realize how much spices are, and especially in today's time, because back then people used to set out on voyages that will last months to years long just to get certain type of spices. You know what I'm saying? The silk and the salt road was when they went from like the known kingdom all the way over to like Asia to get these different types of spices and different types of silks, and it was very expensive. You know what I'm saying? Part of the reason why Columbus wanted to come over to this side of the world was not just only for gold, but it was also for spices. You know what I'm saying? He at that time, people believed the world was flat. He was going to endanger himself and his men to possibly fall off the earth for some gold and for some spices. And this is what the Queen of Sheba was giving to King Solomon. Do you have that?
Okay.
I read what you got.
It says talent. In the Old Testament, a talent was a unit of measurement for weighing precious metal, usually gold and silver. In the New Testament, a talent was a value of money or coin.
All right, so did it say how much a talent was weighed?
It has New Testament. I have to look it up in the Old Testament.
All right, yeah. Look that. Just I want to see how much the weight of a talent was at this point in time. Continue reading.
Verse 10. And the servants also of Huram, and the servants of Solomon, which brought gold from Ophir, brought algum trees and precious stones.
So they bringing all this stuff to Solomon. Why? They're paying tribute. They're bowing to his authority. They're saying he is the Most High's chosen, and the Most High chose this man to be over Israel, and Israel's over the whole world. Now, can you imagine the heathens and the devil saying that about us right now? No, we can't really imagine that. Why? Because they look at us as thugs and niggas and spicks and wetbacks and savages that we just can't get right.
Sloppy, just to bring in the mind is Songs of Solomon. The way he describes himself, he looks like a rapper. So like all these people are coming and
right,
paying tribute to what looks like a rapper with gold teeth and jewels in his mouth and gold chains, and he giving them wisdom.
Think what's that young cat's name? Lil Uzi Vert, who had the $24 million jewel in his forehead. You know what I'm saying? Think the baby, you know, who has, you know, chains. Just think of your modern. I wouldn't even say your modern rapper. Just think of your modern rappers bling, not the modern rapper, because these rappers, you know, are halfway they're whole Christian and halfway gay. You know what I'm saying? You got something?
Well, if he's giving wisdom, I would say Rakim.
You know what I'm saying? You spit knowledge, but Rakim didn't have the jewels. You know what I'm saying? Like he wasn't that flashy. You know. Think of Mr. T when he had. Nah, he wasn't that. He wasn't that flashy. Slick Rick, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Slick Rick. Think of cats that had the rings. You know what I'm saying? The teeth rolled with jewels. Think of when Lil Wayne had to go to jail. He had to get all his fronts taken out. It cost him tens of thousands of dollars just to get that stuff taken out. Do you understand that? Just to get that stuff taken out, it cost him tens of thousands of dollars. Not the amount of jewels that was in his teeth. Think of that. That's how Solomon was. Not only that, when the Queen of Sheba first came into Jerusalem, she thought one of the guards was Solomon because of the amount of gold he had on. Do you realize that the servant, the guard, he wasn't even the king's guard, like protecting him, like right, you know, his left and right. He was at the gate. He was a gate guard. If anybody knows anything about, you know, security, oftentimes the youngest man or the least ranking man is out in the elements, guarding, you know, from way in the back. You know what I'm saying? The more seasoned men are protecting the castle or you know, important people. They're inside. You know what I'm saying? They're doing, you know, personal security. But those guys that are out in the elements, those are usually the junior men. You know what I'm saying? And this guy had so much bling on that a visitor thought he was the king of Israel. That's where we came from. You know what I'm saying? You look at us in our state right now. We are in a very low, decrepit state, and the only reason why we're this low is because we turned away from the Most High. Once we actually turn back, the least of us will be greater than any other nation. Did you get that?
One talent would equal to 75.5 pounds.
One talent equals to 75.5 pounds. Real quick, find me how much an ounce of gold is. How much is an ounce of gold right now? I want to say it's like $1,800, $1,700. It's around there. 1 ounce of gold. How much is this?
That's a 75.5 times 20.
Nah, but it was 120.
Oh, Salaki.
It was 120.
Salaki.
Did you get the price of gold?
Come.
How much is the price of gold right now?
Gold prices per ounce, $1,835.
Around $1,800 for an ounce. It's how much? 16 ounces in a pound?
Right.
16 ounces in a pound. So 1 ounce is $1,800, $1,835. You do the math. She gave King Solomon 120,000 talents, which is 9,060 pounds of gold. And then on top of that, spices as well. They said these spices, no one else could have gotten. No one else could have gotten these spices. So just from that tribute, you have something?
I did the numbers right now.
No, look at
2.2, 2,216,868.
So she gave him $2 million, over $2 million. As a gift.
Right.
As a
Shalaki, was that one talent? Or
all
the
together.
talents that
all the talents together? Okay, that was all the talents.
Okay.
And then she gave him other stuff. Just for being who he is. Now, can you imagine that? Once we actually turn back to the Most High, just for being an Israelite, just for being, under the authority of the Most High, all these nations are going to give us stuff like this. This is going to be regular. I.S.U.P.K. The water. Let's keep going.
Verse 11. And the king made of the algum trees terraces to the house of the Lord, and to the king's palace, and harps and psalteries for singers. And there were none such seen before in the land of Judah.
So we it was so glorious that we did stuff. I was just talking to Pagabo on the way here. Just the creativity that Israel has. That once we get to the Passover, you're gonna see some stuff that you ain't never seen before. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna see some garments. It's like, man, how in the world did you come up with that?
Right.
How long did it take for you to do whatever it is you do to get that, that glorious garment? You know what I'm saying? I look at Shapat's crown and I'm like, how in the world did that come out your head? And then you manifested it. You know what I'm saying? How did this happen?
Right.
Why? Because we the salt of the earth. We the salt of the earth, and it says it time and time again. Let's keep going.
Verse 12. And King Solomon gave to the queen of Sheba all her desire, whatsoever she asked, beside that which she had brought unto the king.
So right here, this is where some of these fake Israelites and a lot of Christians say that Solomon took her in as a wife. Does it say that? It doesn't say that. Now it does say that he took the Pharaoh's daughter as a wife. That was plain as day. Why wouldn't they make it plain as day here? Why would they speak in code, of this when he did take heathens in as wives? You know what I'm saying? This does not say that he took her in as a wife. What he's saying is everything that she asked for, he gave her. She did not ask to be his wife. You know what I'm saying? So all you fake Israelites, all you Christians out there, Solomon did not marry Sheba. All right? Keep going.
So she turned and went away to her own land, she and her servants.
So she went away. What rib does that? I don't know any ribs that do that. After they get married, then they're like, all right, I'll see you. You know who does that? Harlots. Harlots do that. All right, you gave me what I needed. I'm good. And then go on to the next one. But that's not this case. You know what I'm saying? Keep going.
Verse 13. Now the weight of the gold that came to Solomon in 1 year was 666 talents of gold.
Look, come on. Well, we just broke down how much a talent weighs, and how much Sheba gave, the queen of Sheba gave to Solomon. In 1 year, he got this much gold. Keep going.
Verse 14. Beside that which chapmen and merchants brought, and all the kings of Arabia and governors of the country brought gold and silver to Solomon.
So they're just bringing everything to King Solomon. Let's keep going. You got something?
I do have the number of how much he gave back to her right here. It's 127,872,000
What do you mean?
as equivalent to the money that in today's term of the six talents of gold.
Verse 12.
From what?
In verse 13.
In verse 13. Well, read verse 13, Baba Kishore.
Verse 13. Now the weight of gold that came to Solomon in 1 year was 603 score and 6 talents of gold.
No, that's what he got in a year.
So that's
You say
that's how much it was worth.
how much? Say that number back again.
127,872,000.
That would be verse 12, sir. Because King Solomon gave Queen Sheba back something in verse 12.
Read 12 again, Baba Kishore. But he's saying how much that 120 what was it? 630. No, yeah, 630 talents. That's how much 630 talents of gold is worth today. Today is 100 and what? Over 100 million. He had over 100 million in 1 year.
Sloppy, sir. The 3 score, the score is 20.
Yeah,
666.
666. All that gold in 1 year. That's Jeff Bezos type money. You know what I'm saying? That's Warren Buffett type money. That's the select few type money. Keep going. Actually, that was it. We're gonna continue on in Hebrew. That's we'll get 2 Chronicles 9:22 through 28. I'm gonna get that. You got some?
Sloppy Bob and Sharp. Not to mention that money was worth more back then. So like it would be. Is that the equivalent of what it would be now?
That's the equivalent of how much gold is worth now. That amount of gold is worth now. And remember, we had ornaments decorating the temple. We had, gold laid out throughout the walls and the fixtures and the lamps and the chalices and all this stuff that we had was not gold plated. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't dipped in gold or spray painted with gold. It was solid gold. You know what I'm saying? Crowns that we had, like headpieces that we had back then, was made of solid gold. You'd have to do neck raises and build your neck up just to hold up the amount of gold. You know how heavy gold really is? All right, let's continue. Let's go. Was it 22?
Verse 15, sir.
Is it verse 15? 15 through 21?
Nah, we on. It should be 9:22 in the Hebrew.
Sloppy, sir.
Yeah, he just read. Yeah, he just read 14.
Right.
All right, so we're gonna get 1 Chronicles chapter 9, 2 Chronicles 9 and 15. Waya Aisha, Hamalak, Shalama, Ma'athiam, Tazana, Zahab, Shaka, Wata, Shasha, Ma'a, Watha, Zahab, Shaka, Wata, Ya'al, Ya'ila, Al, Ha-Tazan, Ha-Tazana, Ha-Akath, verse 16, Washalat, Ma'a, Watha, Ganayim, Hazab, Shaka Wata, Shakawata, Shalash, Ma'a Watha, Hazab, Ya'al, Ya'ala, Al, Hamagan, Ha'akath, Wayathanma, Hamalak, Babayath, Ya'ira, Ha Laban Wana. Verse 17. Waya Aisha, Hamalak, Ka Sa'a, Shana, got a wall. Waya Taza Pahawa, Hazab, Taha War. Verse 18. What wa shasha, ma'al wa tha, laka sa'a wa kabash, ba zahab, laka sa'a, ma'ak, cause salakia, ma'ak zayam, wa yad wa tha, maza wa maza al, maka wa ma, hashabath wa shanyam, araya wa tha, imadium, tazal, hayad wa tha, verse 19, wa shanyam, ishar, arawath, imadium, sham, al, shasha, wa slakia, hama'al wa tha, maza, wa maza, la'a, na'isha, Khan, Lakal, Mama Laka, verse 20, Wakal, Kaliya, Ma Shaka, Hamalak, Shalama, Hazab, Wakal, Kalya, Bayath, Ya'ira, Halaban, Wana, Slakia, Slakia, Zahab, Sa Gawar, Ayan, Kasap, Naka, Shabbat, Naka, Na Kashab, Bayamya, Shalama, La Ma'a Wama, 21, Kaya, Ayan Yawath, La Malak, Halak Watha, Thara, the Rashim, Aim, Ibadja, Kawaram, Akath, Shalal, Salakia, Lashal, Lashawam, Shanyam, Thaba, Wa'ana, Anayawath, the Rashashyam, Slakia, Tharash Yasha, Nasha Awath, Zahab, Wakas, Wa Kasap, Shana Habayim, Shana Habyam, Wa Payam, Watha, Waka, Yayam. Verse 22. Where that's it. Wow. Can't do it without my Akim with me. All right, let's continue on in the English.
Khan. 2 Chronicles chapter 9, verse 15. The king Solomon made 200 targets of beaten gold. 600 shekels of beaten gold went to one target. Verse 16. And 300 shields made he of beaten gold. 300 shekels of gold went to one shield. And the king put them in the house of the forest of Lebanon.
We made shields of gold. You understand that? You understand that? You know, shields takes punishment. Shields take punishment. Anybody know what coin shaving is? Anybody know what that is? What that is back in the time, you know, they had coins. Coins is worth, you know, money and whatnot. What they would do was they would a certain coin would be worth a certain amount of money, right? So they would shave portions of it off because it was made of real gold and real silver and precious, you know, metals and whatnot. So they would shave it off, and even though it was supposed to have been weighed a certain amount, because they shaved it off, they would take those shavings, you know, from a bunch of different coins and then make other money to it, or they would you know, get the value of that in other ways. Just imagine if you just beating up shields, because, you know, beating up a shield, you know, you beating it up with with a hammer or a war hammer or a mace or a sword, shavings of that stuff is going to fall away, and no one's going to be sitting there picking up the shavings. That's how rich we were. We didn't worry about the shield getting beat up and picking up the shavings of the real solid gold that we had from these shields. That's how much wealth we had. The footmen had the shields. You know what I'm saying? Do you know how many men make up an army? Do you?
A lot.
I don't. Yeah, exactly. And we had gold shields. It was $1,800. It's $1,800 for 1 ounce of gold right now. How many? I'm gonna get to you real quick. How many of us in Israel can afford to just get 1 ounce of gold? You know how much an ounce is? An ounce is really small. Average Israelite right now cannot afford to just go out and get 1 ounce of gold, real solid gold. You know what I'm saying? Let alone put that all over your shield. You have something, Shapak?
We always like to look good while we're beating.
Exactly. Let's keep going.
Verse 17. Moreover, the king made a great throne of ivory and overlaid it with pure gold.
Overlaid it with pure gold. You know how much ivory costs? You know what I'm saying? Ivory is you might know where ivory comes from.
Elephant tusk.
Elephant tusk. You know what I'm saying? Who's going out and getting that damn elephant tusk? That's one of the reasons why it's so expensive. You gonna go and no anybody really knows how fast an elephant is? I seen one thing where an elephant was charging a vehicle, and it looked like they were just playing around, but they were really trying to. You hear the motor like getting it, and the elephant was like right there. Come on, man. I don't understand why people go out in safaris with that's anything less than a tank.
Yeah.
I don't understand that. That ain't me personally, but I see rhinos getting chasing down vehicles. But hey, ivory, expensive. Made a whole throne of ivory and put gold over it. Keep going. This is how rich we were.
Verse 18. And there were 6 steps to the throne, with a footstool of gold, which were fastened to the throne, and stays on each side of the sitting place, and 2 lions standing by the stays.
Just something like this. We're practicing the righteous acts, just like this. 2 lions right here. He rested his feet on gold. Come on, man. This is how rich we were. And think about how we are right now in our state right now, how far we have fallen. When once upon a time, our king rested his feet on solid gold. Right. And like I said, the Queen of Sheba thought that one of the gate guards was Solomon. So it's not like he had all the gold. He shared the wealth. Why? Because everybody, all the nations was giving him stuff. Like, here, take it. It's not like like in a state we are Israel right now. If we get something, we ain't telling nobody. Maybe our close friend. Maybe if they act right, like, hey, look, I came up on something. Maybe but nah, he had so much. He was like, hey, man, just share the wealth. He put it on goddamn shields. Keep going. I just can't get that through my head. He put it on shields. Keep going.
Verse 19. And 12 lions stood there on the one side and on the other upon the 6 steps. There was not the like made in any kingdom.
Again, it's all the earth. Keep going.
Verse 20. And all the drinking vessels of King Solomon were of gold, and all the vessels of the house of the forest of Lebanon were of pure gold. None were silver. It was not anything accounted of in the days of Solomon.
Everything he drank from is pure gold. And this right here, it looks good. You know what I'm saying? But it's gold plate. You know what I'm saying? This is not pure gold. In the kingdom, we're going to be drinking out nothing but, pure gold. Right. You know what I'm saying? You remember back in the early 2000s where Lil Jon and them had the goblets, you know what I'm saying? Where there was jewel encrusted. I'm pretty sure. Well, I can't say that that any of that was like fake stuff, jewelry and whatnot. But just imagine if all that stuff was real. The precious stones on there, the made of metal and whatnot. That's what King Solomon drank out of. You can't say that who else drinks like that? Who came up with that type of stuff? Nobody. That was us. That was us doing that. Right. Keep going. And you can't say we're not these people in the Bible. Lil Jon was doing that. Lil Jon was doing that, and he had me do it. He had me paint something. I made a little something back in the day, but we did that type of stuff. And that's coming straight from the Bible. Anybody knew that was actually in here? You had something?
It's lucky. I remember like some of the old videos from old movies in like the 70s that
the pimps, right?
Pimps.
Yeah.
That was their thing with the encrusted and all types.
Yeah. You're right. You had something?
It's like I got a precept.
What's up?
How the Lord made us this way.
Uh-huh.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 16, verse 9. Then washed I thee with water, yea, and thoroughly washed away thy blood from thee, and anointed thee with oil. Verse 10. I clothed thee also with bordered work, and shod thee with badger skin, and I girded thee about with fine linen, and I covered thee with silk. Verse 11. And I decked thee also with ornaments, and I put bracelets upon thy hands, and a chain on thy neck. Verse 12. And I put a jewel on thy forehead, and earrings in thine ears, and a beautiful crown upon thine head.
So how do we come up with all this stuff? Most High put this on us. They say whenever we're making our garments and whatnot, we're making our stuff, we put our own spirit on it. That own spirit is the Most High spirit. That thing that Shapat is wearing, that came from I don't even know how in the world he got, but the Most High put that on him, and it manifested like that. Now he's cranking out, headpieces left and right.
Right.
I remember it took from when he first came in, he had like maybe 2 or 3 pieces on there, and it took him a minute to get them, situated and whatnot.
Right.
Now it take you about a day, a few hours to get to something like that. Come on, man.
I was going to back up. Officer Spa said with another precept.
Go ahead.
Revelations 2:9. I know thy works and tribulations and poverty, but thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy of them will say they are Jews, but are not, but are synagogue of Satan.
Right. But we are rich. Why are we rich? Because we have the covenant that the Most High gave to us. The kingdom belongs to us. You know what I'm saying? All we have to do is just turn back. If anything, everybody has a certain reason why they're following the Most High. You know what I'm saying? It may be hatred for the devil, and I'm not talking about some imaginary figure that's under the earth. I'm talking about the real criminal on the earth. Some people just want to live a better life. Some people hated the life that they lived before. They want, they want something. Some people read how the way we used to live and want that power once again. You know what I'm saying? Whatever that thing is to get you to follow the Most High, so be it. I remember Officer Kazak was saying, one of the things that got him in was when Philando Castile, that whole incident when he was killed in front of his rib and his daughter, and what kept him in was he got to say the white man is a goddamn devil every week.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So I remember Captain Mashak was saying how he wants the power to say, you have a kid, bring that baby over here. He wants to kick down the door with his war horse and yoke the baby up by the leg and say, you see, this is the last time you're gonna see this, and ride off into the darkness. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is that get you up and get you out to camp when it's hot, get you out to camp when it's cold. You know what I'm saying? Get you on that field Sunday morning. Whatever it takes, man. Just do whatever it takes. Yeah, I know. Is that it?
Nah, sir.
All right, keep going.
Verse 21. For the king's ships went to Tarshish with the servants of Huram. Every 3 years once came the ships of Tarshish, bringing gold and silver, ivory and apes and peacocks.
You're bringing us apes. You know what I'm saying? Good Lord, we're bringing us apes and peacocks. You know what I'm saying? This is the kingdom of heaven. Every year, every 3 years in particular, this one place they bring us stuff all the time. All right, with that, that was last verse, right? With that, men up here, I say, Amijah. Which means stand. Young man, Calvin, present thyself.
Young man Calvin, ban yam yam, ban yashala.
Young man Calvin, ban yam yam, ban yashala.
Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah Brakatham.
Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah Brakatham.
All right, men up here, you shopping, which means to be seated. Kagar, can you get the next one?
Hello.
29.
Second Chronicles chapter 9, verse 29 in the Hebrew. Washa'ah, Debaria, Shalamah, Hara'ah, Shanyam, Kara Wanayim, Hala'ah, Hama, Kata Wabayim, Al, Debaria, Nathan, Hanabaya, Al, Salaki, Wa'al, Nabawa'ah, Af, Akaya, Hasha, Ya Lawanaya, Wabaka Zawah, Ya'idiyah, Hakaza, Al, Yarabai, Rayaba'ain, Bun, Napat, verse 30, Waya Malak, Shalamah, Bayara, Washalam, Al, Kal.
What verse are you on?
Salakia, about 29, about to hit 30.
You should, okay.
Salaki, so it's
No, yeah, you should be 22 through 28.
Yeah, so I'm gonna start back at
Yeah, start at 22.
Come.
The water.
Verse 22. Waya Salaki, Gadol, Hamalak, Shalamah, Makala, Malakaya, Ha'aratazah, La'ishar, Wakama. Verse 23. Wakala, Makalia, Ha'aratazah, Mabakwa Shayam, Panya, Shalamah, Lashamai, Kayamatawa, Ashar, Nathan, Ha'ala Hayam, Balabawa, verse 24. Waham, Mabaya, Ayam, Ayash, Manakathawa, Kalya, Kasap, Wakalaya, Sa'ab, Washalama, Nashak, Wabashamyam, Sawa Sayam. So like Wapadarium, Debar, Shana, Bashana, verse 25. Wayahaya, Lashalama, Arabat Ba'ai, Alapatyam, Avrayawah, Sawasayim, Wama Rakabawa, Washanayim, Ishar, Alak, Parashim, Wayana Yakam, Ba'ai Raya, Harakab, Wa'ain, Hamalak, Bayara, Washalom, verse 26. Wayahaya, Mawashalah, Bakala, Hamalakayim, Manah, Hanahara, Wa'aid, Al-Ratazah, Palashathium, Wa'aid, Gabawal, Matazarayim, verse 27. Wayathan, Hamalak, Hakasat, Bayara, Washalam, Ka'abanyam, Ha'ara Zayam, Nathan, Kashakwa Mayam, Ashar, Basha Pala, Larab, verse 28. Wa Mawataza Ya Ayam, Sawasayam, Mama Tazarayam, Lashalama, Wamakala, Ha'avratazawa, verse 29.
That's it. Okay. We'll continue this on in English. You could, brother. Give me 2 Chronicles 9:22 through 28.
Khan. This is the book of 2 Chronicles 9, verse 22. And King Solomon passed all the kings of the earth in riches and wisdom. Verse 23. And all the kings of the earth sought the presence of Solomon to hear his wisdom that God had put in his heart.
So the Most High gave King Solomon all this wisdom, so much so that all the kings of the earth, not just some of them, not just his friends, but all the kings of the earth sought him out, sought his wisdom. That's how it's going to be once again. Right now, no one comes to us, for wisdom. Right now, that's okay. They're gonna learn. They're gonna learn. You had something?
We don't even look towards each other.
You're right. That's such a shame. That's such a shame because who else can be so studious, and things. When I say that, think of the lowest state of our people right now. Think of people who are addicted to drugs. You know what I'm saying? When I say that, just really think about it. They have oftentimes they don't have a place to stay. You know what I'm saying? Oftentimes they are, without funds. Oftentimes, you know what I'm saying? But yet somehow they find a way to earn some type of money. They find a way to get that $10 to get that high. They find a way to get that $10 to get them something to eat. They find a way. Now, they may just find a way just to get that one $10 or however much it costs to get them high. And then that's it. They're done for the day. Then they have to turn back around and do that same thing again the next day. So even in our low state, we find a way to get something accomplished, even if it is evil and wickedness. Or just think of the single mother out there who's working 2 and 3 jobs just to keep the heat on in the winter. Somehow, some way, she finds a way. I remember it was a time when I didn't have no money, rent was due, and my car broke down. I didn't know how. I don't know. Even to this day, I don't know how it happened, but it was the Most High that allowed me to get through that period of time. And that was way before the truth. You know what I'm saying? With the truth, it's that much easier because I can count on my brothers. You know what I'm saying? I can count on the school. But without that, we're out here, we really can't count on each other. But somehow, some way, we find a way to keep afloat. And you mean to tell me we're not a wealth of knowledge? You know what I'm saying? It takes something to get something out of nothing. And somehow, some way, we do it every single day. Keep going.
Come. Verse 24. And they brought every man his present, vessels of silver, and harness, and spices, horses, and mules, a rate year by year.
Every year, that's what I'm saying. Every year, they brought us stuff. Just like it said, it describes in, I want to say in Revelations, where it has 12 gates in the kingdom of heaven in Jerusalem. And you have, different nations coming in each gate, bringing us tribute all the time. The gates were always open because it was bringing us tribute. It's right here in the Old Testament. It's just going to be like that, just like that when Christ comes back. Keep going.
Come. Verse 25. And Solomon had 4,000 stalls of horses and chariots, and 12,000 horsemen, whom he bestowed in the chariot cities, and with the king at Jerusalem. Verse 26. And he reigned over all the kings from the river even unto the land of the Philistines, and to the border of Egypt.
Reigned over everybody. Keep going.
Come. Verse 27. And the king made silver in Jerusalem as stones, and cedar trees made he as the sycamore trees that are in the low plains in abundance.
Right. Keep going.
Verse 28. And they brought on to Solomon horses out of Egypt and out of all the lands.
They bring this stuff. Horses right back at that time was not just a pack animal, but it was it was a vehicle. You know what I'm saying? It was a workhorse. It was a tractor. It was a plow machine. You know what I'm saying? Just think of it like that. How many? Not. It's not often where some of us may have more than one horse. He had 4,000 cars, 4,000 vehicles. People say, why would you have more than one vehicle? Well, why not? Why can't I have 4,000 horses? You know what I'm saying? I can go out there and look at them. It's mine. You know what I'm saying? He ain't ride 4,000 horses, but it was all his. They kept giving it to him every year. The new model. Yeah.
Did you want that precept you just spoke of?
Go ahead. If you got it.
The book of Revelation, chapter 21, verse 24. And the nations of them which are saved shall walk in the light of it, and the kings of the earth do bring their glory and honor into it.
Right. For all y'all who was thinking I was there's another one that actually says that the 12 gates are open day and night. I'm paraphrasing right now. That's the next. Read it.
Verse 25. And the gates of it shall not be shut at all by day, for there shall be no night there. Verse 26. And they shall bring the glory and honor of the nations into it.
See what I'm saying? Yeah. For all y'all think I'm just BS and just talking out my mouth. We here in the I.S.U.P.K. do not give our own opinions. We talk straight from the Bible, and what I was saying came straight from our records.
Right.
All the kingdoms of this earth is going to do this. There ain't gonna be no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You got two choices, and Beanie Siegel said it best. You can either get down or you can lay down. Choice is yours. I'm cool with either choice. Some people, I'd rather you lay down. But hey, that's a choice you're gonna have to make in that day. Choice ain't that option ain't here right now. But when that day comes, just remember what I'm telling you. You have two choices.
So like, was it the Lord or was it Christ that said, you either follow the Lord's law, statutes, and commandments, which is life, or sin, which is death?
Well, everything that comes out of the Bible is from the Most High.
Come.
As far as who said that, I'm not 100% sure. I think I know who said it, but because I think I know who said it, I'm not even going to say that. I just know I know that's in the scripture, and all scriptures come from the Most High. So whoever said it, the Most High is backing it. You know what I'm saying? So was that it?
Come on, console.
All right, let's continue on with 2 Chronicles 9:23-31, and then 10:1-4. I'm gonna pick this up. With Shar, Debaria, Shalashah, Ha, Ra'ash, Nayam, Waha, Akar, Rawanyam, Ha, La'ah, Ham, Kathawabyam, Al, Debaria, Nathan, Ha, Nabaya, Ha, Nabaya'ah, Wa'al, Nabawa'ath, Akaya, Ha Shayal, Ha Shaya, Lawanya, Wabak, Waba Kaza Watha, Waba Kaza Watha, Ya'idya, Ha Kaza, Al, Ya Raba'im, Ban, Nabat, verse 30, Waya Malak, Shalama, Baya Rawa Shalom Al Kal Yasha'ala Arabayim Shana, verse 31, Waya Shakab Shalama Aim Abathyawa Waya Kwa Baraham Ba'ayar Dawayad Abayawa Waya Malak Ra Kaba'im Rakah Ba'im Banwa Thakath Waya Slakia Thakath Yawa. 2 Chronicles 10:1. Waya Lak Rakah Ra Kaba'im Shakama Kaya Shakam Ba'awa Kal Yasha'ala La Hama Layak Athwa. Verse 2, Wayahaya Kashamai Yaraba'im Ban Nabat Waha Bama Tazarium Ashar Barak Mapanya Shalama Hamalak Waya Shab Ya Raba'im Mama Tazarium. Verse 3, Waya Shalakwa Waya Kora'awa Lawa Waya Ba'a Ya Raba'im Wakal Yasha'ala Wayad Bara Wayad Barwa Al Ra Kaba'im La'amar. Verse 4, Abayak Ha Kwasha Ath Al Nawa Wa'itha Ha Kwal Ma'ai Badath Abayak Ha Kwasha Ma'alwa Ha Kabad Ashar Nathan Al Yanawa Wana'ai Badak. Let's continue on in English. 2 Chronicles 9:29-31, and then 10:1-4.
Khalil Khan. This is the book of 2 Chronicles 9, verse 29. Now the rest of the acts of Solomon, first and last, are they not written in the book of Nathan the prophet, and in the prophecy of Ahijah the Silonite, and Salaki, and in the vision of Idol, the seer against Jeroboam, the son of Nebat. Verse 30. And Solomon reigned in Jerusalem over all Israel 40 years.
So this is a time period where we had peace in Israel. The whole time Solomon was king of Israel, it was peace. Keep going.
Come. Verse 31. And Solomon slept with his fathers.
So right here, the Christians would have you say that he's homosexual. When Christians are the homosexuals of the earth. All Christians. All of them. What this means is he died. You know what I'm saying? This is what he means. Keep going.
Khan. And he was buried in the city of David, his father.
So right there, right in the very next sentence in the same exact verse, it tells you what happened. But these damn Homo sapiens, these Christians take something and just tear it to pieces. Why? Because we're taught by our oppressor. White supremacy is all over Christianity.
Right.
And white supremacy is nothing but community movement. You know what I'm talking about. Keep going.
Khan. Is Slaki. Verse 31, at the end of verse 31. And Rehoboam, his son, reigned in his stead. Verse 10. Slaki. Chapter 10, verse 1. And Rehoboam went to Shechem, for to Shechem were all Israel to come. Salaki. I'll start over. Chapter 10, verse 1. And Rehoboam went to Shechem, for to Shechem were all Israel come to make him king.
Right. So there's a ceremony when one king is passed, and they're doing, they're making ceremony to make it official. This is the new king of Israel. This is what's going on in Shechem. Keep going.
Come. Verse 2. And it came to pass when Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, who was in Egypt, whither he had fled from the presence of Solomon the king, heard it, that Jeroboam returned out of Egypt. Verse 3. And they sent and called him. So Jeroboam and all Israel came and spake to Rehoboam, saying, verse 4, thy father made our yoke grievous. Now therefore ease thou somewhat the grievous servitude of thy father, and his heavy yoke that he put upon us, and we will serve thee.
So these are some slick, nasty bastards. When it showed that even the guard, the young man who was guarding the city limits, had gold on him. The shields had gold on him. He gave wealth. He had a great feast for the entire kingdom of Israel. You know what I'm saying? So how was this? And then not only that, it was said that it was peace in Israel for the first time in decades. The whole time Solomon was reigning, it was peaceful. So what is this heavy yoke these bastards are talking about?
Right.
What heavy yoke? There was peace. Did they forget how bloody and war, how much war we had before Solomon came into power as the king? When David was on earth, there was war not only within us, within Israel, but we had wars around about. At this time, we had peace, and now these bastards want to come and say, after he died, want to talk this crap, saying your father when he's gone. You know what I'm saying? These are some cowards. Why you ain't say this when he was alive?
Mm-hmm.
Keep going. Oh, that was it. All right, Kugar, could you get the next one? 2 Chronicles chapter 10, 5 through 11.
In the Hebrew, verse 5, Waya Amar, Alaham, Iwad, Shalashah, Yum, Washa Wabawa, Aliyah, Wayalak, Ha'ain, verse 6, Waya Wa'ai Tazah, Hamalak, Raka Ra'ain, Hazakanayim, Ashar, Hayawa, Amadayim,
Imadium.
Imadium, Lapanaya,
Lapanya.
Lapanya, Shalama, Abayawa, Bahayatawa, Kaya, La'amar, Ayak, Atham, Nawa'ai Tazayam, Lahashayab, La'ain, Haza'ah, Hazah, Debar, verse 7, Waya, Debarwa, Alayawa, La'amar, Ain, Tahiyah, Latawab, Laha'ain, Hazah. It's like Warataza Yatham, Wadabara, Alaham, Debarium. It's like Tawa, Tawabia, Wahayawa, Laka, Ibadium, Kal, Hayanyum, verse 8. It's like Waya Izab, Itazaf, Hazakanayim, Ashar, Ya Itaza Hawa, Waya wa Itazawa, Hayaladayim, Ashar, Gadalawa, it's like Athawa,
Athwa.
Oh, it's like Athwa, Ha'ai Madium, Lapanyawa, verse 9. Waya Amar, Alaham, Maha, Atham, Nawa'ai Tizayim, Wanashayab, Dabar, Ha'ain, Hazah, Ashar, Dabarwa, Aliyah, La'amar, Hakar, Manah, Ha'al, Ashar, Nathan, Abanayak, Aliyanawa, verse 10. Waya Dabawa, Athawa, Hayaladayam, Ashar, Gadawal, Athawa, La'amar, Kaha, Ta'amar, La'ain, Ashar, Dabawa, Alayak, La'amar, Abayak, Hakabayad, Alanawa, Wa'atha, Hakala, Ma'ai, Layanawa, Kaha, Ta'amar, Alaham, Katanaya, Iba, Mamatanaya, Ibaya.
Let's continue on in English. 2 Chronicles 10, 5 through 11. You got some?
One more.
Oh, you got one more.
I didn't read it.
Suwara.
Verse 11. Wa'itha, Abadia, Ha'amay, my yas, Masas, like it. I like ya come, Al, Kabad, Wa'anaya, Asayap, Al, Alakam, Abaya, Yasar, Atakam, Atakama, Bashawa Tayam, Wa'anaya, Ba'ai, Karabayam.
Pick it up in English. 2 Chronicles 10, 5 through 11.
Khan. This is the book of 2 Chronicles, chapter 10, Verse 5. And he said unto them, come again unto me after 3 days. And the people departed. And the king Rehoboam took counsel with the old men that had stood before Solomon, his father, while he yet lived, saying, what counsel give ye me to return answer to this people?
Now this is wise. What he should have done. He should have, all right, go away. I'm gonna get some counsel, and then I'm gonna address you. And he asked his counselors who stood with Solomon as what how should he take this? I know how I would have taken this, but it's wise to get counsel. It's always wise to get counsel. Keep going.
Come. Verse 7. And they spake unto him, saying, if thou be kind to this people and please them and speak good words to them, they will be thy servants forever. But he forsook the counsel which the old men gave him, and took counsel with the young men that were brought up with him, that stood before him.
So he didn't listen to the men who was there before him. You know what I'm saying? He listened to some young people who was brought up with him. There's a reason why you have counselors. It's not just who are older. Oftentimes, the reason why you take counsel from older men or older, from somebody who's been there before is because they've been there before. They knew if you went down this road, this will get you to this destination. If you went down that road, it will get you to that destination. Young people who have not taken either of those paths may not know the outcome. And that's why you should get people who are seasoned. Now, when I say older, I'm talking about who've actually been down these roads, or who have been taught, like, hey, if you take this road, this is where it's going to get you. If you take this road, this is where it's going to get you. They might have not actually been down those roads, but they know they know the map. You know what I'm saying? I'm speaking in general, because we have officers and captains in here who are much younger than some of the younger officers and troopers in here, but they've either been down that road or they've been taught which road to take and which roads not to take. In this instance, these young men have not been down either path, and just going off of their own wisdom. Whereas the men who stood with Solomon, who've been there, who have kept the peace for decades, knew the roads and where to lead them. You had something?
It's like it. That's kind of like in the world where on the block it'll be a OG that probably get locked up, or he already been in the game, and then when he come home, the younger generation come up and he tries to stall game, like don't do this, that, and the third, and they be like, man, get out here.
Yeah.
We ain't listen to you.
Exactly, and we're about to see how it's going to work out. Let's keep going.
Come. Verse 9. And he said unto them, what advice ye get? Salak. And he said unto them, what advice give ye that we may return answer to this people, which have spoken to me, saying, ease somewhat the yoke that thy father did put upon us. Verse 10. And the young men that were brought up with him spake unto him, saying, thus shalt thou answer the people that spake unto thee, saying, thy father made our yoke heavy, but make thou it somewhat lighter for us. Thus shalt thou say unto them, my little finger shall be thicker than my father's loin. Verse 11. For whereas my father put a heavy yoke upon you, I will put more to your yoke. My father chastised you with whips, but I will chastise you with scorpions.
Who's that sound like? Real quick, who's that sound like? Anybody? That sounds like Pharaoh when he says, when they asked him, they said, you know, we don't have a straw or something like that. And then he was like, well, if you don't have straw to make these bricks, now I'm going to give you no straw, and you have to make double the amount of bricks. Does that sound like the spirit of Solomon, or does that sound like the spirit of Pharaoh? It sounds like the spirit of Pharaoh, right?
Right.
He got some counsel from men who was with his father who had kept the peace, but now he's taking on the spirit of Pharaoh. You know what happened when Pharaoh said that to us? Moses came along. You know what I'm saying? Moses came along, and after that, at the end of that whole, you know, arc, they were once the most powerful nation on the earth, and after that, they were the weakest nation on earth. Why? Because their whole army was destroyed. Their whole economy was destroyed because we left. We were their economy. They gave us their riches to get us the hell up out of there. So they had little to no wealth, they had little to no protection, and they had no economy. And that's the spirit he's taking on right here. Why? Because he want to listen to his friends. And more oftentimes, you know, he went to his boys and it was like, yo, they saying this, I should do this. I don't like what they're saying. So he got a bunch of yes men. They picking up on that, and they gave him the counsel opposite of that. Scripture says, you know, because right here, what this is wicked. Scripture says, you know, cry aloud, show, you know, don't spare anybody's feelings. I'm paraphrasing. You know what I'm saying? Show my people their transgressions. And what he's doing, this is his people. You know what I'm saying? He's living in an ivory tower, not thinking that his people can overtake him. If the Lord's not with him, his people will overtake him and get him up out of there real quick. You got something?
Like, you go to show that spirit that you said with Pharaoh, they became a destroyed nation. We now are a destroyed nation.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Why? Because we don't listen to wise counsel. Wise counsel. It's not. He listened to counsel. Don't get me wrong. He took counsel, but he listened to the wrong people. He listened to the absolute wrong people. Why would I listen to? Why would I go to a priest who has never been married, who's never touched a woman? Why would I get advice from him on marriage? You know what I'm saying? Why would I do that? So why is he listening to these people who have never been in power or position and given wise counsel before? Why should I listen to him? Was that it?
Come.
All right, we're gonna get the last little bit. It's gonna be 2 Chronicles chapter 10 and 12. Waya ba'a, yara ba'im, wakal ha'im, al ra kaba'im, bayawam, hashalashia, ka'ashar, dabar, hamalak, la'amar, shawabwa, alia, bayawam, hashalashia. Verse 13. Waya Ainma, Hamalak, Kosha, Waya Zab, Hamalak, Rakah, Ba'im, Ath, Taza, Tazath, Ha, Zaquanyam. Verse 14, Waya Dabar, Alaham, Ka'ai Tazath, Ha Yaladium, La'amar, Akab Yada, Ath, Al Kama, Wa'anya, Asayap, Al Yawa, Abaya, Yasar, Athakma, Bashawatyam, Wa'anya, Ba'ai Korabyam. Verse 15, Wala Slakya, Wala'a, Shamai, Hamalak, Al Ha'im, Kal, Hayatha, Sabah, Ma'aim, Ha-Alahayim, La Ma'ain, Ha-Quayum, Yahweh, Ath, Dabarwa, Ashar, Dabar, Bayad, Aka Yahum, Slakia, Aka Yawa, Ha Shalawanya, Al, Ya Rabbaim, Ban, Nabat, verse 16, Wakal, Yasha'ala, Kaya, La'a, Shammai, Hamalak, Laham, Wayash, Yabawa, Ha'im, Ath, Hamalak, La'amar, Maha, Lanawa, Ka, Laqua, Ba Dawayad, La Slakia, Wala'a, Naka, Laha, Babana, Yeshaya, Ayash, Alahayaka, Yasha'ala, Aitha, Ra'ah, Bayafka, Dawayad, Wayalak, Kal, Yasha'ala, Alahayawa, verse 17, Wabunya, Yasha'ala, Ha Yashabyam, Slakia, Ba'ayarya, Yahawada, Wayamalak, Al Yahum, Ra Kaba'im, verse 18, Wayashalak, Hamalak, Rakah Ba'im, Ath, Dabarma, Ashar, Al, Hamas, Wayagamwa, Bawa, Banya, Yasha'ala, Abun, Wayamath, Wahamalak, Rakah Ba'im, Ha Tha'ah Mataza, La'ai Lawath, Bamarakba, Bamarakwa, Slakia, Bamarakaba, Lana Was, Waya Shalom, Slakia, Wa Yarushalam. We're going to continue on in English. 2 Chronicles chapter 10, verse 12 through 18.
Khan, this is the book of 2 Chronicles, chapter 10, verse 12. So Jeroboam and all the people came to Rehoboam on the third day, as the king bade, the saying, come again to me on the third day. Verse 13. And the king answered them roughly, and King Rehoboam forsook the counsel of the old men. Verse 14. And answered them after the advice of the young men, saying, my father made your yoke heavy, but I will add thereto. My father chastised you with whips, but I will chastise you with scorpions. Verse 15. So the king hearkened not unto the people, for the cause was of God. The Lord might perform his word, which he spake by the hand of Ahijah the Shilonite, and Jeroboam the son of Nebat. Verse 16. And when all Israel saw that the king would not hearken unto them, the people answered the king, saying, what portion have we in David? And we have none inheritance in the son of Jesse. Every man to your tents, O Israel. And now, David, see to thine own house. So all Israel went to their tents.
So he's saying, you don't want to mess with us, we ain't messing with you. That in a nutshell, that's what he's saying. I ain't gonna say it. Let's keep going.
Come. Verse 17. But as for the children of Israel that dwelt in the cities of Judah, Rehoboam reigned over them. Verse 18. Then King Rehoboam sent Hadoram, that was over the tribute, and the children of Israel stoned him with stones, that he died. But King Rehoboam made speed to get him up to his chariot to flee to Jerusalem.
Why he running? Why you running? You going to chastise him with scorpions, right? That's what he said, right? He's going to chastise him with scorpions. Why you running? You don't put know them of what's the scripture? I'm paraphrasing. Know them that thy labor among them. You know what I'm saying? He was in great disconnect with his own people. And this was the first account of King Rehoboam when he became king. This might not have been the first thing that happened as soon as he became king, but this is the first thing we read in Chronicles, in this account about Rehoboam, and it was a major mess up. Why? Because he didn't listen to the counsel, the wise counsel of the men who kept the peace from his father. You would think that he would know how to keep the peace because he was right up on his father. But he didn't listen to his father. He didn't listen to the people who actually kept the peace and knew how to do it. Instead, he listened to his boys, his yes men. It's very important not to have yes men around you or yes women, because they're just gonna keep you in sin. Right. I'm not gonna say they're gonna cause you to lose the kingdom, but they're gonna cause you to lose the kingdom. Right. You understand what I'm saying? Anybody has any questions before we close out the class? Let's give the sister a hand for the food, the water. I ain't finished with mine. I'm about to get some more. The water again. With that, the men up here, I say Amidra, which means to stand.
La Yasharala.
So you,
men of Israel, Yahanna, which means to stand.
I imagine.
It's like Imagine, which means to stand. Walk on Yahakudam, which means turn to face the east. We're going to say the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Repeat after me. Abanawa. Shabbat Shemayim. Kodash. Shemka. Yahweh. Malachutka. Taba'ah. Ratazayaka. I.S.U.P.K. Ba'aratazah. Kawa. Bashamayim. Latananaw. Lakam. Cow. Yawam. Wasalakinaw. Kabawatinaw. Kasalakinaw. Kabawatinaw. Wala'ah. Taba'ayinaw. Banasayawam. Abol. Hawashayinaw. Mayan. Right. Kayuk. Laka. Hamalakwa. Waha'ala. Watapower. La'aywalamyam. Amen.
In English, our Father, which art in heaven. Hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In earth. As it is in heaven. Give us this day. Our daily bread. And forgive us our debts. As we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation. But deliver us from evil. Thine is the kingdom. And the power. And the glory. Forever. So be it.
We're going to say, I'll cut the power. Yahweh. Ba'ashem Yahushua. Baba Kasha. Nathanaw. Hakat. La'pa'ah. Kalmaka'Allah. Makamarawa. Makamarawa. Hakak,
Hakak,
Latahar,
Latahar,
Hamatazariah,
Hamatazariah,
Hakak,
Hakak,
Lahaquium,
Lahaquium,
Hamathium,
Hamathium,
Hakak,
Hakak,
Haraka'awah,
Arakawa,
Hamata'ala, Hatama'ala,
Hatama'ala,
Lagarashun,
Lagarashun,
Ba'ashim Yahushua,
Ba'ashim Yahushua,
the water Aman,
the water Aman.
In English, Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua.
Please give us the power.
Please give us the power.
The power to heal.
The power to heal.
All manner of sickness.
All manner of sickness.
And all manner of disease.
All manner of disease.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to raise the dead.
The power to raise the dead.
The power against unclean spirits.
The power against unclean spirits.
Cast them out.
Cast them out.
In the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it.
We're going to say, bless Israel, Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Ba'ashim Yahushua,
Ba'ashim Yahushua,
Barak Lanawa,
Barak Lanawa,
Wayasha'ala,
Wayashala,
Wahabaya,
Wahabaya,
Saparian,
Saparian,
Barak,
Barak,
Rapah,
Rapah,
Magun,
Magun,
Hagun,
Hagun,
Ba'ashim Yahushua,
Ba'ashim Yahushua,
the water Aman,
the water Aman.
In English, Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua.
Bless us.
Bless us.
And Israel.
And Israel.
And the school.
And the school.
Bless.
Bless.
Heal.
Heal.
Shield.
Shield.
Protect.
Protect.
Our loved ones.
Our loved ones.
In the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it.
We're going to say Psalms 121, Asha'ah,
Asha'ah,
Ayanya,
Ayanya,
Al-Hahorium,
Al-Hahorium,
Ma'ayan,
Ma'ayan,
Yaba'ah,
Yaba'ah,
Isarium,
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 Ma'ayin,
Ma'ayin,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Ashah,
Ashah,
Shemayim,
Shemayim,
Waharatazah,
Waharatazah,
Ayathan,
Ayathan,
Wa'aratazah,
Waharatazah,
Ayathan,
Ayathan,
Lamawat,
Lamawat,
Regalka,
Regalka,
Al-Yanawam,
Al-Yanawam,
Shamarka,
Shamarka,
Hana,
Hana,
La'ah,
La'ah,
Yanawam,
Yanawam,
Wala'ah,
Wala'ah,
Yashun,
Yashun,
Shawamar,
Shawamar,
Yasha'ala,
Yasha'ala,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Shamarka,
Shamarka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Tazalka,
Tazalka,
Ayat,
Ayat,
Yamyaka,
Yamyaka,
Yawamam,
Yawamam,
Hashamash,
Hashamash,
La'ah,
La'ah,
Bekarka,
Bekarka,
Wayarak,
Wayarak,
Walayala,
Walayala,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Shamarka,
Shamarka,
Makarai,
Makarai,
Yashamar,
Yashamar,
Atnapashka,
Atnapashka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Shamar,
Shamar,
Taza'afka,
Yashamar.
Yashamar, Taza'afka,
Taza'afka,
Wabawa'afka,
Wabawa'afka,
Ma'itha,
Ma'itha,
Wa'awalam,
Wa'awalam,
Wa'aman.
the water
In English, I will lift up mine eyes to the hills.
I will lift up my eyes to the hills.
From whence cometh my help?
From whence cometh my help?
My help cometh from Yahweh.
My help cometh from Yahweh,
Which made heaven and earth.
which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee.
He that keepeth thee
will not slumber.
will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keepeth Israel.
he that keepeth Israel
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day.
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
Nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
Yahweh shall preserve thee.
Yahweh shall preserve thee
from all evil.
from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
And thy coming in.
and thy coming in.
From this time forth.
From this time forth.
And even forevermore.
And even forevermore.
So be it.
So be it.
We're going to say Psalms 83, Alahayim,
Alahayim,
Al-Damayalaka,
Al-Damayalaka,
Al-Takarash,
Al-Takarash,
Al-Dashakwat,
Al-Dashakwat,
Al,
Al,
Kayahana,
Kayahana,
Awabyaka,
Awabika,
sorry, Awayabyaka,
Awayabika,
Yahama Yawan,
Yahanna Yawan,
Wamashanayaka,
Wamashanayaka,
Nasha'awa,
Nasha'awa,
Ra'ash,
Ra'ash,
Al-Imaka,
Al-Imaka,
Ya'imar Yamwa,
Yahweh Yamwa.
Yahweh Yamwa,
Sawad,
Sawad,
Waya Dasa Aitazawa,
Wayatayawa,
Al-Tasepa Wanyaka,
Al-Tazapawanyaka,
Amarawa,
Amarawa,
Lakawa,
Lakawa,
Wanakakiram,
Wanakakim,
Magalia,
Magalia,
Wala'ah,
Wala'ah,
Yasakar,
Yasakar,
Sham Yasha'ala,
Sham Yasha'ala,
Aywa,
Aywa,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Nawa Aitazawa,
Noah Isazawa,
La,
La,
Yakadwa,
Yakadwa,
Alyaka,
Alyaka,
Baya,
Barya,
Yakawathwa,
Yakawathwa,
Alahaya,
Alahaya,
sorry, Ahaya,
Ahaya,
Adawam,
Adawam,
Wayashama Alyam,
Wayashamaya,
Mawa'aba,
Mawa'aba,
Wahagariam,
Waharaya,
Gabal,
Gabal,
Wa'imawam,
Wa'imawam,
Wa'imalak,
Wa'imalak,
Palashat,
Palashat,
Anyashabia,
Amyashabia,
Tazawal,
Tazawal,
Gamashawal,
Gamashawal,
Nalawa,
Nalawa,
Imam,
Imam,
Hayawa,
Hayawa,
Zarawai,
Zarawai,
Labanya Lawat,
Labanya Lawat,
Salat,
Salah,
I.S.U.P.K,
I.S.U.P.K,
Kamadian,
Kamadian,
Kasara Sara'ah,
Kasara Sara'ah,
Kayabian,
Kayabian,
Banakal,
Banakal,
Koyashuan,
Koyashuan,
Nashamadwa,
Nashamadwa,
Ba'ayan Da'ira,
Ba'ayan Da'ira,
Hayawa,
Hayawa,
Daman,
Daman,
La'adama,
La'adama,
Shayatamwa,
Shayatamwa,
Nadayatmawa,
Nadayatmawa,
Ka'ira,
Ka'ira,
Wakaza Abba,
Wakaza Abba,
Wakaza Abba,
Wakaza Abba,
Wakaza Bak,
Wakaza Bak,
Wakata Zamanai,
Wakaza Zamanai,
Counter Sayakamwa,
Kana Sayakamwa,
Ashar,
Ashar,
Amawa,
Amawa,
Nayarasha,
Nayasha,
Lanawa,
Lanawa, Ah,
Na'awa,
Na'awa,
Alahaya,
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 Shayatamwa,
Shayatamwa,
Kagagala,
Kagagala,
Kakwash,
Kakwash,
Lapanya Raka,
Lapaya Raka,
Ka'ash,
Ka'ash,
Thaba Ya Ira,
Ira,
Lakala Haba,
What color?
Lakala Haba,
What color?
oh, sorry, what color Haba,
What color Haba,
Talahat,
Talahat,
Haryam,
Haryam,
Khan,
Khan,
Dabadatma,
Dabadatma,
Basa Iraka,
Basa Iraka,
Wabasa Wapathka,
Wabasa Wapathka,
the Balahum,
the Balaham,
Mala'a,
Mala'a,
Panyahum,
Panyahum,
Qualawan,
Qualawan,
Wayabashua,
Wayabashua,
Shemka, Wayabakwashua,
Wayabashua,
Shemka,
Shemka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yabashua,
Yabashua,
sorry, Wayaba Alyawa, Wayabahawa,
Wayaba'awa,
Wayaba'awa,
I, Wayakapawa,
Wayakapawa,
Wayabadwa,
Wayabadwa,
Wayadaiwa,
Wayadaiwa,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Atha,
Atha,
Shemka,
Shemka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Labaka,
Labaka,
Al-Yawam,
Al-Yawam,
Al-Kaharataza,
Al-Kaharataza,
the Wada Aman,
the Wada Aman.
In English, keep not thy silence, O Yahweh.
Keep not thy silence, O Yahweh.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still.
And be not still.
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
For lo, thy enemies make a tumult.
Thy enemies make a tumult.
And they that hate thee.
And they that hate thee.
Have lifted up the head.
Have lifted up the head.
They have taken crafty counsel.
They have taken crafty counsel.
Against thy people.
Against thy people.
And consulted against thy hidden ones.
And consulted against thy hidden ones.
They have said.
They have said.
Come. Let us cut them off.
Let us cut them off.
From being a nation.
From being a nation.
That the name of Israel.
That the name of Israel.
May be no more remembrance.
May be no more remembrance.
For they have consulted together.
For they have consulted together.
With one consent.
With one consent.
They are confederate against thee.
They are confederate against thee.
The tabernacles of Edom.
The tabernacles of Edom.
And the Ishmaelites.
And the Ishmaelites.
And Moab.
And Moab.
And Hagarim.
And Hagarim.
Gebal and Ammon.
Gebal and Ammon.
And Amalek.
And Amalek.
The Philistines.
The Philistines.
With the inhabitants of Tyre.
With the inhabitants of Tyre.
Asher is also joined with them.
Asher is also joined with them.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
Salah.
Salah.
Do unto them.
Do unto them.
As unto the Midianites.
As unto the Midianites.
As to Sisera.
As to Sisera.
As to Jabir.
As to Jabir.
At the brook of Kishon.
At the brook of Kishon.
Which perished at Endor.
Which perished at Endor.
They became as dung for the earth.
They became as dung for the earth.
Make their nose like a red.
Make their nose like a red.
And like Zahab.
And like Zahab.
Yea.
Yea.
All their princes.
All their princes.
As Sabah.
As Sabah.
And as Samuna.
And as Samuna.
Who said.
Let
us say to ourselves.
Let us say to ourselves.
The house of Yahweh possession.
The house of Yahweh in possession.
Oh my power.
Oh my power.
Make them like a wheel.
Make them like a wheel.
As stubble before the wind.
As a stubble before the wind.
As a fire burneth the wood.
As the fire burneth the wood.
And as the flame setteth the mountains on fire.
And as the flame setteth the mountains on fire.
So persecute them.
So persecute them.
With thy tempest.
With thy tempest.
And make them afraid.
And make them afraid.
With thy storm.
With thy storm.
Fill their faces with shame.
Fill their faces with shame.
That they may seek thy name.
That they may seek thy name.
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
Let them be confounded.
Let them be confounded.
In trouble forever.
In trouble forever.
Yea.
Yea.
Let them be put to shame.
Let them be put to shame.
And perish.
And perish.
That men may know.
That men may know.
That thou. Whose name alone.
Whose name alone.
Is Yahweh.
Is Yahweh.
Art the most high.
Art the most high.
Over all the earth.
Over all the earth.
So be it.
So be it.
We want to say the blessings. Barakatha Yahweh.
Barakatha Yahweh.
Why Yahweh Shai.
Why Yahweh Shai.
Why Mayaka Allah.
Why Mayaka Allah.
Why Hala Saki. Why Alahayim.
Why Alahayim.
Mataza Abia. Saki. Mataza Yab Ya'ah.
Mataza Biyah.
Mataza Biyah.
Mataza Biyah.
Alawap Yahanna.
Alawap Yahanna.
Ha Alawapium.
Ha Alawapium.
Ha Sarunium.
Ha Sarunium.
Ha Quatasayonium.
Ha Quatasayonium.
Ha Koya Yoyum.
Ha Koya Yoyum.
Waha Kwawathian.
Waha Kwawathian.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Ba'ashem Yahushua.
Ba'ashem Yahushua.
The water Aman.
The water Aman.
In English, bless you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh.
And Yahushua.
And Yahushua.
And Michael.
And Michael.
And the angels.
And the angels.
Commanding General Yahanna.
Commanding General Yahanna.
The generals.
The generals.
The captains.
The captains.
The officers.
The officers.
The troopers.
The troopers.
And the sisters.
And the sisters.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it.
We want to say the curses. Bless you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh.
King of heaven and earth.
King of heaven and earth.
And all things living.
And all things living.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua.
Listen to us now.
Listen to us now.
Right now.
Right now.
Send evils and curses.
Send evils and curses.
And punishment and destruction.
And punishment and destruction.
To the heathen.
To the heathen.
That speak against us.
That speak against us.
Thy prophets.
Thy prophets.
The teachers.
The teachers.
The princes.
The princes.
The priests.
The priests.
The Israelite brothers.
The Israelite brothers.
And the school.
And the school.
Send evils and curses.
Send evils and curses.
And punishment and destruction.
And punishment and destruction.
To the heathen.
To the heathen.
And shake loose.
And shake loose.
The treasures of the rich of Israel.
The treasures of the rich of Israel.
That refuse to give to the school.
They refuse to give to the school.
Force their riches.
Force their riches.
To enter into thy sanctuary.
To enter thy sanctuary.
Send evils and curses.
Send evils and curses.
And punishment and destruction.
And punishment and destruction.
To the Edomites.
To the Edomites.
The nations.
The nations.
And their drug dealers.
And their drug dealers.
The court system.
The court system.
Prison system.
Prison system.
Planned Parenthood.
Planned Parenthood.
All the governments of our enemies.
All the governments of our enemies.
Amalek synagogues and armies.
Amalek synagogues and armies.
Roman Catholic Church.
Roman Catholic Church.
The Pope.
The Pope.
Islam.
Islam.
Christianity.
Christianity.
Egyptology.
Egyptology. Militia.
Ku Klux Klan.
Ku Klux Klan.
Aryan Nation.
Aryan Nation.
Skinheads.
Skinheads.
Posse Comitatus.
Posse Comitatus.
The gay movement.
The gay movement.
The lesbian movement.
The lesbian movement.
Spies.
Spies.
Workers of witchcraft.
Workers of witchcraft.
NASA space program.
NASA space program.
Army.
Army.
Navy.
Navy.
Air Force.
Air Force.
Marines.
Marines.
Wall Street.
Wall Street.
Open up the internet.
Open up the internet.
And the airways.
And the airways.
Cable access channel.
Cable access channel.
And the radio channel.
And the radio channel.
Convict the spirit.
Convict the spirit.
Of any of thy people.
Of any of thy people.
That seek to stop us.
That seek to stop us.
Bring swift destruction.
Bring swift destruction.
To all the heathen.
To all the heathen.
That stand in the way.
That stand in our way.
Or try to stop us.
Or try to stop us.
From broadcasting your word.
From broadcasting your word.
On the planet Earth.
On the planet Earth.
That loose all the plagues.
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 Cause them to go.
Cause them to go.
To and fro.
To and fro.
Through the earth.
Through the earth.
And consume them.
And consume them.
With the plagues.
With the plagues.
Shake the house of the thief.
Shake the house of the thief.
And the murderer.
And the murderer.
Let Yahweh shine.
Let Yahweh shine.
Michael and Gabriel.
Michael and Gabriel.
Come down with the flying saucers.
Come down with the flying saucers.
And punish all the heathen.
And punish all the heathen.
That come up against us.
That come up against us.
As we speak thy word.
As we speak thy word.
Cause it to be known.
Cause it to be known.
By all.
By all.
That is the angels that have done it.
That is the angels that have done it.
Cause it to be spread.
Cause it to be spread.
Through the media.
Through the media.
Throughout the whole world.
Throughout the whole world.
Cause them to shake at thy coming.
Cause it to shake at thy coming.
In the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua.
Thank you always.
Thank you always.
So be it.
So be it.
So which means to turn. Since you may be seated. Men of Israel, gird up thy loins to prepare to salute the Torah.
Yahweh Shem Yahushua brought you up.
Yahweh Shem Yahushua brought you up.
Yahweh Shem Yahushua brought you up.
Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barakiyah.
Men of Israel, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the teacher. Men of Israel, Majim Shabbat, Imajim, Barak.
Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barakatah.
Yahweh Shem Yahushua Barakathum.
Yayim Ta, since you may be stand. Psalms means to turn. Men of Israel, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the sister. Men of Israel, Majim Shabbat, Imajim, Barak.
Yahweh Shema Alatam Hashem Yahushua.
Yayim Mata, class dismissed.
I.S.U.P.K.
I go ahead and erase this.